Hello, welcome to Maltbox, the non-chill filtered whisky blog. I'm Andy and this is whisky review number 58, and what I have for you today is a single malt Scotch whisky from the Arran Distillery on the Isle of Arran. And it's their entry level whisky, which is the 10-year-old. And there it is. 10 years old, single malt, bottled at 46%. It is not chill filtered and it does not have added colour. So let's get that out of the way straight away. Some very positive points right there off the bat. Arran is a relatively young distillery. It was actually opened in 2005? 1995. Definitely would be a young distillery if it was opened in 2005. So it's been going for around 22 years now, which is really scary when you say it out loud. The fact that that was 22 years ago. So as I say, it's the only distillery actually, for now, on the Isle of Arran. It's relatively small, but they are constantly expanding due to, well, mainly requirement, demand. However, there are plans, I believe, for a second site, and that is currently in the process of being, well, built. So, all good news for Scotch whisky, good news for the Isle of Arran. So, as I say, this is the 10-year-old bottling. They also offer in the standard range, they've got a 14-year-old, which is the step up from this. They also have, I think it's an 18-year-old now, yes, and they've got a few other sort of like special little bottles as well. They've got a no age statement called the Bothy. They do a peated run called Macri More. They do that in cask strength and about 46% as well. Two different versions of that. And some limited editions. In fact, you can get a Robert Burns no age statement, that's from Arran, as well as a Robert Burns blended whisky with, well, it's made by the guys at Arran, assuming it's got a fair bit of Arran in there as well, as you would expect. So, natural colour, so it's quite light. I'm assuming you've got a fair bit of ex-bourbon influence in there. So there you go. Some nice legs on there as well, on the glass, on the nose. And it's very much in Arran's house style. This is the style that they've now built a bit of a reputation for after being in the market for 20 odd years. It's light, it's fresh, it's fruity, it's got a maltiness in there as well. Got lots of vanilla, and when I say fruit, yes, you've got apples, but you've also got things quite exotic. Got a bit of pineapple juice in there. Very exotic. Mangoes. We've sort of touched on these lines with Kavalan in the last review. So to find them in a Scotch whisky, very interesting indeed. There's also a bit of lemon in there, but not just lemon, I'm getting lemon sherbet. And in the back of everything, you've got this constant, lovely, soft, sweet honey. Again, just to reiterate, not some £25 a jar Manuka, heather honey, orange blossom honey, or whatever other nonsense you want to say. It's honey, it's just honey out of a jar. And again, you've also got that maltiness throughout as well. Really nice and light. Very playful, it's smooth, it's not prickly in the nose, it's not raw, it's not rough, it's very well made spirit. Very nice indeed. Now the distillery is quite interesting for a couple of reasons. The main one for me, and the reason why you might be able to see on the label there, that there are sort of the silhouettes of two eagles on there, it's because the site that the distillery was built on, during construction, it was actually had to be halted for a time and it was slowed down, and it's a similar story to the construction of the new buildings that they've got going on, because there's actually golden eagles on Arran that pair up and mate, and basically you can't carry out any works in the vicinity of where they are nesting. So that actually because they're a protected species, so that disrupted construction. So as golden eagles are actually quite rare now in Scotland, unfortunately, there's a bit of a tribute to them and to the experience that the distillery went through with them in the vicinity. That is now their logo, really. You know, it's pretty much on every bottle that I've seen in the new livery. This is sort of like the revamped makeup of it. It didn't look anything like this in the past. It's a lot better now than it used to be. I'm just going to put it out there. I do like the new labelling and that. It's much better than it was. So, yes indeed, very, very interesting little place indeed. I've not had the chance to go over there yet, but one day, hopefully I will. Another important thing for me is independently owned. So it's one of the few independently owned distilleries in Scotland. We've had a couple of others on the blog as well so far, including Springbank being a prime example, and Glenfarclas. And unfortunately, it is kind of a dying breed at the moment. But on the plus side, there are lots of new distilleries popping up that are proving to be very exciting. That are owned by very, very, how can I put it, unique individuals who are basically going to be producing some great spirits in years to come. I'm very excited to see what they make. So back onto the 10-year-old, let's go onto the palate now, see what this is offering up. Just before I do, yeah, just going back there, loads of vanilla, loads of that fruit still, lovely nose, really is really, really nice. So onto the palate. Really nice thick mouthfeel. It's more of the same. Lots of honey, got lovely maltiness, stewed apple, so like you get for your apple pie. I'm getting apple pastries, nice warm apple pastries. I'm getting sort of like caramelised pecan nuts as well. What else have we got in there? Pineapple upside down cake. Pineapple upside down cake, that nice sort of syrupy, sticky pineapple cake. Vanilla custard. Really, really nice. Finish, quite short, still very sweet, icing sugar sweet now. I'm talking icing sugar. There's not too much woodiness in there, like chewing a pencil, for example, or licking a wooden cabinet, as some are inclined to do. You know who you are. There is a car alarm going off on street level, so apologies if you can hear it on the microphone. I'd be surprised if you did, because the microphone's not very good. Toffee, a bit caramel, but predominantly it's that lovely maltiness, honey, and that sort of light sweet fruit cutting through all that. Really nice dram indeed. So for a 10-year-old, age statement, non-chill filtered, natural coloured, single malt Scotch whisky from an independently owned distillery, you're looking at about 35 quid. You can get it a little bit cheaper, but let's call it 35 quid because that is what it's actually on sale for on the distillery's website as well. So you're looking at that on average really, but you can get it for around 30 in certain places. You can find it on offer sometimes. So scores. Well, it's got a lot going for it. It's very, I mean, it's not an intense, rich kind of dram that you might have in the depths of winter. This is very much a springtime, summer dram. It's very appropriate at the moment here in Lancashire in the end of March when I'm recording this review, because the sun's been out for 3 days on the trot. We've all been very scared, we're not used to it, we don't know what it is, but it was nice and warm, so you know, it worked out for the best. And I think this has pretty much been the perfect dram to have in that sunshine. I actually took the bottle out with me last night, just before sunset, just sat in the last sort of like dying embers of the sun, and sounded a bit Michael Bay science fiction, didn't it? And I just sat there, you know, in the garden, lovely dram, just birds singing, the pollen coming out, the flowers are starting to come up again. Perfect dram for that. So on that note, score, I'm going to give this whisky an 85 out of 100. It's very well presented, it's affordable, it's very, very good value for money in my opinion, and I suggest you check it out when you can. Thanks for watching, see you soon.